Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Subway Builder, where we are continuing to build our big, beautiful New York subway network. Last episode, guys, we created this brand new peach line right now, which pretty much runs all the way down Broadway before entering into Brooklyn as a way to kind of take a little bit of the heat off the yellow line now, which was becoming quite overloaded, and also acts as a great anchor point to crisscross a couple of lines to bring people to some of the busiest areas within New York City. It's actually doing pretty well. If you check our route ridership right now, 227,000 people are using the Peach Line. That is absolutely crazy right now. It really, really is. It's actually really surprising to see how many people are actually using the lines in general anyway. But since last episode, there's been a little bit of an update. I'm not particularly 100% sure what's new within this update, but the first thing I noticed was we now have runways on the airports, which is kind of interesting. It really, really is. So today we're going to actually do something a little bit different, and we're actually going to do something we are yet to do in this New York series. And a lot of you guys have been questioning, yo, Seniac, why are you not creating elevated lines across rivers? It will be so much cheaper, and you haven't got to kind of dig so deep. And in my head, I'm thinking, do you know what? Why am I not using elevated lines at some points? Because the subway network, while it does go underwater in some locations across the rivers, in real life, it also is elevated and goes across with the bridges at the same time in real life. And I thought, you know what? Rather than just build an elevated section, why don't I commit to a whole elevated line? And I think I might create my first elevated line in New York within Brooklyn. And I think I've got the perfect location for it, but there's going to be a few little tweaks here and there that I'm going to need to do. Now, if you are enjoying this series, smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. Appreciate it, everybody. Appreciate it right in now. So I want to follow this. You can see right now there is like a vague line it runs. I'm going to assume that this is a train line in real life. You can see running through. I'm going to assume that's a train line in real life. And I thought it might be kind of interesting to kind of somewhat replicate it. That, to me, feels like it's a train yard. Again, could be completely wrong. But I don't want to create real life scenario lines because, you know, my kind of network is not built like that. But I do need a route that kind of comes around, collects people from these no man's lands, is what I'm calling them, to bring them further up and around. And I thought we could start by building a couple of elevated runs through Brooklyn. I feel like we can have one coming along here and eventually one further down here that swoops around with it. I think it'll give us great coverage. So to be able to do that then, we can obviously start with this station here and we can run it all the way down. But when it comes to crossing over the yellow and the pink line here, the stations are not centered correctly, which is slightly annoying. So my idea is here, I could either build it straight across and it's fine, but I would like to have the stations slightly stacked. So, and we're going to have a problem here actually thinking about it. There's a building there that we have to kind of go through. So there might be some sections where we do make it go underground, unless I can make it go over the building. We'll see. We'll have to see right there. We'll have to see. So I might have to reposition these two stations to go kind of move them further up, which means kind of getting rid of the line itself at the moment. It's going to be kind of annoying, but I want everything to line up perfectly. That's kind of what I want to do. Now, at the same time, I'm going to plan out where the other line's going to run down, so it'll also give me a chance to rejig the stations down here at the same time as well. So, a little bit of a pain, but we're going to pause real quick, and we're going to edit these lines real quick as well. So, hold on, I just realized, where are my lines? Couldn't I used to be able to select the station and just like click on it? I don't know. I'm just talking jibber jabber right now. I think I've got some settings turned off that we can't particularly view. But anyway, boys, let's continue. So I want to edit the pink line and I just want to quickly take it off and as far back as just over here. So if I just get rid of you, get rid of all of this real quick and just get rid of one of them. And then it will use the whole thing, so I've got to put a little Chrissy Crossy in there somewhere. So let me just quickly confirm those changes. And the other one is the yellow line here. So let me just quickly edit this. And I'll put them back on. I will put them back on. Do not worry, boys. Do not worry. So we'll just go to just to there for a minute. And then we'll confirm those changes. And if I quickly then go to build mode, add some crossovers. Oh, they've actually changed some of the UI. I kind of feel a little bit all over the place now. We add a crisscross there. And then we add a, I think it's a crisscross. Is it a crisscross there? Yeah, it would be a crisscross here, wouldn't it? So add that in there. And then commit to building the blueprints. And that, in theory, should then update, once the blueprints have been built, the lines, if I got that correct. Now, I feel like I might have not got that correct. No, I have. Okay, sweet. They now end there, which is perfect. So what I've got to do now is just give it a minute for them to realize what this new line update now consists of. So the train stopped going down here. It will cause some problems. It will 100% cause some problems, but I can now get everything all situated correctly. So I should now be able to delete this. So go to delete, and I should be able to, I'm going to delete all the tracks, by the way, and then the station. And then do the same over here as well. Delete you, and I'm going to slightly reposition it. Now, where am I running the secondary one? I think I'm going to run it coming through this road here. So if I deleted you, I'm going to delete that station there and delete you. And do you know what, to be honest with you? I think I might redo all of it, because I can kind of put down some better spacing for all of these lines and stops and stations. I feel like it would work better. I'll have a little bit more control and a little bit more freedom. Yeah, I think that station there was already perfect anyway. Right, build stations. And we've got heavy metro, elevation, -5. So let me just first build it where I want. So I know these are going to be pretty close together. So that's where we're just going to slightly stagger that. And that's where we're going to... Now that's really close to that one. It's really close to it, but I think we'll get away with it. And then where do we want the other ones? So I'm going to put this one directly here, which then means this one goes directly here. So that's where I want the 2 crossover stations to happen on this line. And if I now just bring up the demands. Now, is there any areas that stick out more than others? Not. I can also see where another line would have ran there. It's interesting right now. As the game updates more, you kind of start to notice a little bit more, don't you? So I don't think there's any particular area that kind of stands out more than any other. So we'll go back to it now, and I'm going to build a station. That's not a station. I'm going to build a station here, and then I'll build a station here. So if I won't say replicate it, but we do a good job at kind of trying to get them similar. Because in stages where, like, I'm trying to create crossover points like I'm doing now, we didn't particularly line up perfectly. Now, that should do its job. I could add more in, like I could add an additional one here. But I'm just adding on to time and stuff, and it's kind of not needed. And then you can argue, well, if you added one there, you can add one here. I'm not going to push it too far. We're going to keep it super simple. So now we need to build the tracks. So let's get this all done and dusted. And then we can start making way on our elevated run, which I'm very excited about. My first elevated system in New York City. In New York. Right, these are very close together. I mean, I could have pushed that a little bit further down, but it is what it is. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I'm just giving it better coverage. Right. Let's get this all done. Right, we're almost there, boys. Almost there. We've got to do a nice little twisty bendy wendy. And then we can then commit to this. So how much did that cost me, by the way? It cost me 1 billion. So I'm actually not worried too much about money at this point in the game, because things are relatively easy to afford because I'm making billions of dollars. Right, let's now get this rest of this yellow line pretty much all connected back up. So run this all the way down. La-dee-da-dee-da. So make sure we get all the stations. Now, it's very close down here, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't know how close stations are in New York City in general. But would you say, this is a genuine question right now, would you say that my stations are too close apart to real life or too far apart to real life? I'm quite interested to know what the actual spacing is in New York City. Right, let's now edit this pink line, and then we're pretty much back to where we was originally, but now we've got better crossovers for our elevated run. So this is gonna be interesting, baby. Right, they're all confirmed. One last one there, and I think we're now good to go. Confirm those changes. So back into play mode then, as they can now fully extend all the way down. Pink line is already doing it. There is some issues here, but we have to wait for them to all space themselves out a little bit better. And then we're all good to go. We're back in business. Back in business, boys. Back in business. So, elevated train line then. This is what we've all been waiting for. We now are going to set up, and I don't know what to do about this one here. So I think we'll start here. Now, if I was to build tracks, and if I am to make this be elevated by a 5, we're going to hit that building. If I made them by a 10, we're going to hit that building. And I think you can do a maximum of 15, you're going to hit that building. So I think this will be the only section where we are not elevated. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to do a -10 because I've just realized, and I didn't really think this one through. But that is a -5, so this here needs to be a -10. But I can elevate it up, and we're all good. So everything else is going to be a +5. So a station there. Beautiful. Oh, this is going to be so excited. I'm so excited already. This is going to be so good. I'm hoping if I put a station here, for example, that we can do the transition down on the track. So if I went there, no. Okay, what I'll do is I'll undo that and I'll make this one be on the ground. No, actually I can't because... Okay, right. I'll make this one actually be a -5 and I'll tell you why now. I should be able to build the tracks to the... No. Damn it. Right, okay. Got an issue. Got a slight issue here. So undo. Build stations. If I make this a... I'm going to do a -4 and then pull it here. Right, hold on. And I need to get to a +5. So can I get it to a +5 there? There. And then you're hoping this... Yes! The transition is real, boys. The transition is real there. Right, sweet, mate. There we go. So now we can go back in business then. So we'll add the elevated crossover just there. And then we're going to bring it round now. And then we'll do a stop here. And then we do have a couple of buildings there, but I can wiggle directly through them. Just like that. And we will throw in a station there. And, or do I put this more in the middle? I reckon we put this more in the middle, like here. So there's our stops coming through, which is perfect. I've just got to figure out how far we're going to take it. We're obviously going to take it to up here where it's going to cross over. But that's going to be a lot of shenanigans as well. So we'll see how far we can go first. So that's going to tear through. We will have a stop here. We will then have a stop here. So this will be a heavy working area, by the way. I'll then do a stop round about just there. To then incorporate one just there. And then we'll do one going just slightly diagonal before then hitting us with one here. And this is where it does get a little bit interesting now, because there is going to be some elevated buildings around. Now, I could make this go underground, and in theory, if I undo, I could do our underground section around about here. But the issue is how low down do I want it to go? Because I've got to think about how it transitions over these two stations. So there's a no. So if I go to a -10, and that's a yes, that's a yes. So I want it to hook itself back up to this. So in theory, that's where that station's going to run. And then that's where that station there, hold on, I want them to crisscross, is going to run. And then I need we'll do a -5 station here to give us enough time to hopefully do the transition going down, which we will build in now if I can do this. So let me get this to because I'm going to get this to over the road here first to a 5. And then if I went from there to there, perfection. Okay, so I know that's going to work. I know that's going to work. Now, do I take this a little bit further now? I think I'm going to wait until I've worked with this area a little bit more to figure out where the stops are going to go. So let's just commit to a back and forth just here to begin with. And then we'll design our back and forth here, because I've also got to figure out where this line is running down. If it is running down is the question. If it is running down, boys, and all that jazz. So elevated lines then, we're going to have to get now all the tracks in together. And I'm actually quite excited about this. I really, really am excited about this. And I don't know what colour to make it. I think the biggest decision now I have in these games is what colour I now make the lines. Because I'm running out of colours. All right, there. Oh! I forgot about the transition here. I forgot about the transition here. So if I go to there, that's underground, isn't it? Yeah. So I need to get down to like a -5, like stat. Right there. Easy, mate. I know what I'm doing. This ain't my first rodeo. Oh, no. Right, he's lost his mind. He's lost his mind. Right, there we go. Running through smoothly. Couple of dense buildings here, but we're getting through it okay. And then we'll run this. We'll kind of like bend it slightly out to then lead it slightly in. And then now this is all underground, by the way, isn't it? So it has got to go down to like a -10. So that works. And there we go. So crisscross is actually 3 lines in that location. There's the lime line, there's the peach line, and then you've got the lilac line. You've got the yellow line here, you've got the pink line here, and the red line there. So that should be pretty handy for a lot of people. And could this be the start of a loop? I don't know. I don't know, boys. Could this be the start of a loop system? It feels like it could. It feels like it could, but we'll see. We will see. Now, that's all in, and that's fine and dandy. Now, do we commit to the other one? I think we'll build this first and get the line set up. So, just give the game a moment. We're waiting for it to commit. Oh, I didn't add the Chrissy Crossies in, did I? No. Let me just quickly grab them in. So, 1 Chrissy Crossy, 2 Chrissy Crossy, And that is now done. And it takes longer to add the crisscrosses in than build the actual lines. Right, so, new line. I've got many lines now at this point. I'm going to run out of lines at this point. And we've got a blue, and we do have a light blue, but it's not technically called light blue, so I could call this, the next one, the light blue line. Is there a word for light blue that's not light blue? Light blue line. So good. Seniac, where do you come up with your names? Oh, is it because they're the same colour? You know what? I might change this to this. So they're together. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Right, let's edit this station and let's get this rocking and a rolling. So I'm not sure which one we're meant to be on. Is it this one? I ain't sure which one that's meant to be. Right, that works. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll, boys. So, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, boys. That's all in. So this actually pretty much problem-free, this line, isn't it? That felt pretty much problem-free. Right, let's confirm those changes. Trains. And we'll do double the train straight away. And we'll now add in... Let's reduce the... Oh... I'm liking all this new stuff. So I'm seeing a lot of the stuff that they've now changed in this update, which is pretty interesting. Oh, we got to buy more trains. Right, let's buy loads. Let's buy loads of trains. Let's buy 200 train cars. Spend $500 million. So we like to do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So we'll do it like that. That, for me, feels pretty good. So, confirm that then. And now we have this brand new line, which looks like it could be the start of either just a really extensive line through Brooklyn and Queens, or the beginning of somewhat of a loop, which is interesting. But then again, the next line we're going to do is going to kind of like almost mimic this, but go a little bit of a different way. That could also be a big outer loop as well, maybe. Who knows? Who actually knows at this point? But when we check our demand stats, you can now see the type of people it's going to be picking up, the type of areas it goes through. Very important. Very important, boys. So it's mainly picking up residents more than anything else. Right. Very good. Very good. So we got 15% of the people using transit, which is interesting. And hopefully this keeps pushing forward. So, I don't particularly think it's going to, like, break any records, this line. Well, I say that. I know it's not. But it should be a pretty decently used line. Until we extend it a bit more, then it will start to kind of pick up a bit. Could it kind of connect to there and run up? I don't know. You got all these options. But that is technically our first elevated line. How cool is that? That's pretty good, right? It's pretty cool. The yellow line is still our most used line to date. Now, I wonder if this does anything for us, as if it takes people away. Will it add more people on? I'm not particularly too sure yet. Now, the peach line, that's what I'm kind of looking at the most. I'm trying to see how well that's pretty much doing. It looks to be pretty solid at the moment. It does mean that we can bring more people to the peach line, but it also means bringing more people to the yellow line as well with this system. But let's take a look at the secondary elevated line that I want to now do. And this one I've got to figure out, where is it best for us to go? So I want it to run down here. This one's gonna mainly follow the road, which is gonna be a bit of a tricky one. Now, does it go to the airport, or is this a line that's going to follow this and then maybe turn to make its way up following this format? Ooh, it's a tricky one, isn't it? I might only take it as far as where it crosses over the lime line and the lilac line, and then just kind of end it there for now. So let's prepare this then. The light blue line, my new one, is about to overtake the orange line as well, by the way. So that's pretty cool to see. So build stations then. We want to keep this to an elevated +5. And do you here. And then we'll do this one here. We'll get one in the middle. So we'll try and go a little bit more central, because there's nothing really then stopping me. Now, this one is not particularly going to cross over, but I feel like it's close enough where it's not that much of an issue, and we can slightly get away with it. Right, let's do a stop there. Let's do a stop there. And I've got a turn on this, so we'll definitely have a stop here on the turn. And then we'll just bridge the gap and have a stop there. So quite a few stops already. Quite a few stops already, boys. But I'll incorporate this one stop here. So we'll come down, turn in. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly, mate. Lovely jubbly. And then where are we going to be running the rest of this? So I think it's going to turn down here. Obviously, it's going to cut through here. Then it's going to have to make its way over into what will feel a little bit like no man's land, unless I turn it up and then get it to run this way. What's the demand stats saying? There is a lot of untouched people over here, and then they've got the choice to walk through, and I could then eventually bring a line coming straight down. Yeah, I think that might be the better way. It's going to come through, and I could just make it cross over at this point and run up. I could have chose this run here, but the station's there to turn and cross in. Unless I made it go underground and then pop back up. But I don't suppose it's always going to work the way you kind of intend it to, is it? But I'm just going to make it reach that area anyway. Oh, 17%. We actually gained an extra 2%, which is nice. Right, so build these elevated stations then. So we're definitely going to drop one there. Oh, no. Wasn't we going to... No, we decided we're going to continue straight. One there. And I'm going to implement then one here. And then we're going to do one just there. And then we're now crossing over to this, which we're going to try and get it to go to here. And definitely have one there. And then we're going to definitely have one here. Would I need one here? I feel like I want to delete these two stations. And then position one there. And then position one there. So they're a little bit more spaced appropriately, the best way to put it. I'll do that one there. And then I'm into this scenario where I've now got to commit to a directional route. So it would be nice to cross over there, but I know I'll have to go under a minus. No, I actually don't. No, what am I doing? Stick it to +5, sorry. I just do that, but I'll also incorporate a station there. Right. That one's a little bit awkward than anything else, and it does run in some very suspicious areas, as in like on the edge and over highway intersections. A bit interesting is the best way to put it. So we'll see. We will see. So add the first section in and add in the crossover. And let's commit to the rest of all of this, which should actually be quite easy. There really shouldn't be any dramas. So if I got to there and then I bendy-wendied you in. Bit of a tight squeeze, but again, no dramas. No dramas, boys. Running you all the way down. It couldn't be any easier at this point, could it? Couldn't be any easier at this point. Right, let's spin this right round. Let's get the rest of this all done. Oh, hello. It's a slight little diagonal we've got on the go there. And I'm hoping if I just did that there, I can meet this. Up and over, elevated. See, guys, is that my first river crossing there, elevated? Yay! I like you guys wanted that in the last episode. What a fool. What a foolio. Now, because I'm building elevated, obviously, it's a lot cheaper. Now, I'm not really in the position that I need to save money. So, it's quite an interesting one that I'm now building a lot cheaper when I've got more money than I know what to do with. All right, there we go. And then bring this down, and then we're going to swoop it in. And of course, add the crossover just there, because that's all we're going to do, and that's the only way we're going to run it for now. But now we've got a more integrated network. Once I get this line set up, by the way, within Brooklyn. So I'm kind of excited about that. I am kind of excited about that. So that's now set up. There's a lot more stops along this line. And of course, we now need to create a line. Right. Like I said, we are running out of colours at this point. I think we will go for a... I'll say... Custom colour. What if I went dark red? Maroon. The maroon line. Create that one. I'm definitely running out of names right now. I need to at some point actually have a think about what I want to do with this line naming system. Because right now, I mean, I could keep naming it colors. It's just I'm going to get very obscure with my colors. At some point, I'm going to be doing like seashell yellow. And that, you know what I mean? I'm going to get to some really weird names at some point. Oh, no. He has lost his mind. Lost his mind. Right. And then the right side there. Very good. Very good, boys. Very good right now. We're going to confirm that changes real quick. Trains, double them up straight away. Get the frequency in down to as close to 5 as possible. Down to 10. Down to 15. Nice. Nice. And the Maru line is now live. Look at us go. Very difficult to see. Right, guys, prepare your eyes right now. I'm about to flashbang you. Ah! That hurts. Right, turn it back off again. Sorry. I did prepare you. I did give you a warning, so you can't be mad at me. You can't be mad at me right now. Right, we have these two really, really helpful lines right now. Elevated lines, by the way, that do pick up a lot of the slack in no man's land and should hopefully aid us a little bit more. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that being such a dark color. Because I gotta remember, right, this is a I'm playing on dark mode, so those colors are a little bit trickier to see than I could do the white line. Call it the white line. How have I never thought about doing whites and I'm playing in dark mode? You know what I mean? Right. But I think it's because it looks like an unused line, doesn't it? It looks like a line that I'm not yet using. But it works anyway. It works. Right. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, we'll have to obviously give it time to see the route ridership increase on that. The light blue line is actually getting up there now. It's becoming quite handy, quite useful. Red line has overtaken the yellow line and the red line are literally back and forth. They are literally back and forth. And I think these two new lines that I've built are predominantly going to make them red and yellow lines be more useful. But I also think it evens them out more than ever. Because now you haven't got to travel all the way up to get there. It's a simple setup. It is a simple setup. So we'll give that time to settle in. We will give it time to settle in, boys. And we'll see if we can do some existing expansions right now. So, looking at things, these elevated lines, would they continue to go over? Maybe. Maybe right now. I've got to look towards doing a pretty decent expansion. Now, I'm worried about expanding the blue line down to the airport because that will become a super route. And while that's amazing, I just don't have the support for that blue line at the moment. Because right now they're kind of coming into here. And that works gloriously. But I think just like I've got an airport to airport route, I need this airport being connected up as well. Now, how the blue line comes down is where another line can run simultaneously. So if I do quad line to go up to that airport, so you got the airport to airport connection, but then I would really, really like the airport to airport connection down here. So maybe I can integrate how this line comes down to switching over. I don't know. That might have to be a couple of line connections, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Now, is this white line going to outperform the orange line? Now, that's a serious question. That is a serious question. So demand stats right now, we're still 17%. We are reaching more people than ever before. But you really got to look into why people are not using your network. You can now see where they're wanting to go, which gives us a better idea. So a route where it's like 50-50 transit driving, which is to here. And that's because they've got to walk to one of these stations, which for them, not great. Not great. And that's what's stopping them fully committing. Just in general. I can make it cheaper and make it more enticing, but nah. We like cash too much, guys. We like the cash too much right now. Right. So, should we actually think about the quad line that's going to run in to here? I think we do need to think about it. Now, we could simply connect off this, but I'm going to do a staggered system. And I'm actually going to make it elevate. This has just become the elevated episode. It really has. So if I just go across like this. Okay. And I want to quickly see, is there any point me adding? Okay, maybe adding a stop there. They might walk over to it. But other than that, it's pretty much pointless. It's pretty much pointless. So I'll add a stop just there. Oh, hold on, quad. Which, like I said, it's going to be pretty pointless, that. And then that goes across over. Now, we're all elevated here, by the way. And then we just keep this rolling. So one there. We'll do one there. One there. One there. And this is where we now need to do a transition. So if I did this one here, and then we're going to run then into another parallel that heads this way. Because we're on the way. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Hold on. Undo. Undo. So I want to put that one there. And then we're running up this way. Now, we actually do have a quad route there. So I'm wondering if it makes sense to kind of continue the quad. But no, because it was going to also go this way as well, wasn't it? So this is just to said airport. Hold on. If I did a quad down here as well, one can go over to that way with that. Okay, right. Changing my mind. We're going quad. We are going quad, baby. So that will eventually meet up to there. And this would also meet up in that way as well. So there's 4 stations and we're going to do a big Chrissy Crossy. And I don't quite know how that's going to play out. I'm actually going to undo, because I just realized something. One of them needs to be underground because the elevation changes are going to be wild. Right, let's continue. Like nothing ever happened. A big interchange. Right, we're following the highway, which is probably not, I won't say the best of ideas. Because we do need something to be pretty close by. So I'll do it just there. And I need it to run to the airport. Now, where in the airport is the demand? Okay, so there's going to be 2 stops. There's going to be 2 stops. So you've got your generic one there. And there is one there as well. So we'll go across there. And I think we'll call it like that. So let me build this first, because this is going to be the interesting point right now. This is going to take a lot of brain power from me to get this right. It really is. So I know that one of these is underground. Now, it's underground by 5. So build tracks coming off you. I need to get it to connect over to there, but the drop is not dropping. So if I can go to a -10, and if I can get this to a -10, that should Chrissy cross there on those 2, and that works absolutely glorious. Now, we know we've got an elevated, which for us, the elevated here is going to run down there. And in like that. And then we just got to set up how you cross onto this line, right? And how you cross onto that line. Now, granted, this line can't cross down to here, but I don't expect us to create a line like that. But I ain't going to worry too much. I'm not worried, guys. I'm not worried. Now, I've just realized, actually, it's the blue line here that I want to kind of merge down to this. And the outer line there is going to go that way. So I might just quickly... Oh, I've just built blueprints. What am I doing? I am a fool, because now I've got to delete it again. Right, delete tracks. Want to delete you. So I know to there is a -10 anyway, but I'll delete it back just to there, just so, you know, it's fine, it's fine. Right, build tracks parallel. Now, I've got to get this to a -5, just so we kind of now, like, out of the way. Right, hold on. This is going to be using all my brain power now. Just so we're out of the way. So a single, and I'm just going to bring it to a 5, just to one of them anyway. Right, that works there. And then you swoop into there. Now, the other one, I've got to bring to a 10. Which, do you know what? Was actually a lot easier than I was expecting. Or not. Undo. And no. I'll find it. I'll find the little magic section in just a minute. We're looking for this. Oh, hello. 1.6 million to date served. The green line has become particularly popular. Really? The green line? I'll have to recheck that one out. Right, undo. All right, the maximum slope is not sloping. So it works to there. I just got to get that to there, if that makes sense. So delete you, build tracks. Okay, that works. That then works. And then we'll do the ones that go under. That's a headache for another day. Okay, it's a headache for another day. Right, back to parallel then being -10. No, quad, sorry. Not -10, being +5. All right, there we go. So running this all in, this shouldn't really be any issue now. This is just really simplistic, providing we are avoiding a couple of these buildings right now. There we go. Nice. Nice. Oh, it's getting so difficult, isn't it? It's not going to plan. Right, that's how we'll do it. That's how we'll do it. So what are we using anyway? It's the middle line to the middle, which is important. Oh, I forgot about all this bottom stuff as well. So we're doing middle line crossovers. Does this mean we can extend the blue line now down to the airport? I think it does, but I don't know if I want to do it yet. Now, do you know what? I'm going to do it. We're going to do it. Why not? Why not? Well, that's down to there. So if I just bring... Ooh. Oh! Okay, so I've actually got to go underground. I just realised. It's a taxiway. Oh, this is going to mess me up. This is going to mess me up because I'm not going to be able to transition that soon. Okay, maybe I can. Right, I've got to get this up now to a +5. Right, there we go. Awkward as. Right there. Awkward as. Now, one line needs to use the outer. So we're first going to add the crossover here for this one. The other one needs to be the outer. So I'll just do the little loop trick at the back end there. Running this all the way over here. So I'll do... I'm not going to do the same here because you're not going to run an outer line. Because the line here is going to be running in the parallel section. And then commit to those blueprints. Ooh, that's a big extension. I've really enjoyed this episode. It's all been about building the elevated runs. Nice. Big interchange going on here, though. I don't know how I've managed to kind of come up with a big interchange there, but we're getting one. We're getting one right now. And then that blue line will extend this first more than anything else. So it's able to use both sides there. And then this is now using the outer of this new set of tracks that we've just set up. So it goes from the inner to the outer. And because we've got on that very final station at the airport, the little loop-the-link at the back, it sets it up quite nice. So bam, bam, and then bam, 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 bam. And then we'll just do the one, and it should loop itself right round. Right, very good. So confirm those changes, and then obviously it's going to need a few additional trains right now because the frequency will be slightly off. And that will do us. So play mode. Right, now that's going to be a big hindrance right now to that blue line because that's now all of a sudden got so much no man's land. It's going to become super busy until we can extend these further around to kind of support it. But that's all part of the fun, right? That is all part of the fun. Now we can add in the other one. Now it's not going to do anything for us, this. But is this another look at hooking up here where it can kind of come round? Oh, I don't think that one will work like that. No, I think this could be the crossover going in. And then the loop line runs on the parallel. And then, okay. That outer line could hook up to the quad line here, coming down. But I don't know how it gets down to here. Unless it come down to there, and then we ran around and then turned it. Or I run it straight down here and then in. So many decisions to make. So many decisions right now. So many decisions. But I'm not going to build this line now. Because to build this puts this no man's land line into more no man's land. To get to there, you got to come down to here, switch to go back up. It just doesn't make any sense right now until we've configured what we're going to do here. And I think we'll do that next episode. We need a few more line extensions running through. More than anything else is what we need there. Yeah. So that blue line is going to get real busy right now. So the lines that I built today, we had the light blue line and the white line. They're doing pretty good. They're not the worst lines considering that they're out and about at the moment. Blue line is definitely going to increase. Definitely going to increase right now. And that red line and yellow line, I've been going back and forth a lot lately, but it'll be interesting to see what now changes with this sweet little extension that we've now just done. Things will definitely change. Now, put this on the old daily. My operational profit has actually gone down. I don't know if that's because of the new update. It's slightly dropped us, maybe. Who knows? Who knows at the minute? I'm not particularly sure. We might have to kind of dive a little bit deeper into that. But we're doing all right, boys. We're doing all right. I'm excited to see what we're going to be doing next episode. I really am. But those beautiful line looped extensions or kind of crossing over there, elevated, are the highlight of my series so far. I'm actually quite excited for this. I don't know what it is about them. I think it's just the idea of them being elevated makes it kind of low-key exciting. But we'll end it here anyway, boys. We'll end it here. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please smash the like button down below. And until next time, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.